Hi everybody, my name is Rosalie. I am an aquarist here at Mystic Aquarium in the Fish and Invertebrates department. I'm so excited to have you join us today to hear about why we train our Giant Pacific Octopus here at Mystic Aquarium. This is our Fish and Invertebrates kitchen where we prep all of the food for our department every single day. And today I am prepping an enrichment feed for Sam. He's getting about 140 grams of squid. This is part of the typical diet items that we would offer him. All of our animals here at Mystic Aquarium have seafood options that are sustainably sourced. Most of his food is going to be very protein rich and very low in fats. That's because GPOs actually don't store any fat. They use all that protein directly for metabolism and growth. Now let's go to his habitat and start his enrichment feeding session. This is the top side of Sam's habitat. So as you can see, it is completely covered, and we do have some clamps and weights on top. That is for his safety because octopus are very intelligent animals and they can use their suction to move things around. And so we want to make sure this cover stays in place. So that's what these are all here for. So for Sam's enrichment session today, we are going to offer him the boat, which is one of his favorite and most engaging enrichment devices. So we are going to be putting that enrichment diet into the boat, and we can also smear some of that good food all over it. And they actually taste with their suction cups, so that primary sensory input is coming from all of those suction cups. And so once he makes contact with that boat, he'll be able to know that there is squid around because he'll be able to taste it just from contact. So what we'll do is we will start the session with Sam. Usually he is ready to come over or he comes over very shortly. And we do some tactile interaction. This is important for maintaining our bond with our animal, and it is very good for him to have frequent handling experience so that if we have to handle him more regularly for whatever reason or for husbandry purposes, he's comfortable with us making contact with him. And then while we're interacting, we will offer him this boat and see what he does. Giant Pacific Octopus are the largest growing octopus species in the world. They can get anywhere between 60 to 100 pounds. Generally, on average, as an adult, they'll fall somewhere in that range. Our octopus here that we have, Sam, is still a growing juvenile. He's around 15 pounds right now, and Sam has been growing at a rate of about 30 to 50% his body weight per month. Giant Pacific Octopus are part of the cephalopod family, so they're related to nautilus and squids. They are a very highly intelligent species, and that makes it really fun and engaging to work with them as an animal. For Sam, a very important enrichment is going to be mentally stimulating as well as food-based enrichment and any environmental changes within his habitat. So some of the things that we can offer Sam for enrichment are puzzle feeders or Kong toys. We can put food inside, or we can just put the item in the habitat for him to explore. Other things that we can offer Sam are different environmental stimuli, so changing out the kelp that we have in the habitat or adding air bubbles, things like that, that are going to kind of change his environment so that he can interact with it in a different way. At the basis of our behavioral training for GPOs is stationing or coming to session. So anytime an aquarist comes over to the habitat and is looking to do a training session with Sam, this is Sam's target. It's what we've used for him since he came to the aquarium. And you'll notice it's an octagon, it's yellow, it's pretty thin and lightweight. So he does recognize this when it is presented to him. We can't say for sure whether GPOs actually recognize color, but it definitely is a visual contrast and a shape that he can distinguish, at least from the rest of his other enrichment objects that he has interacted with. We do have to service his habitat regularly to keep up with maintenance and maintain water quality. So one of the things that we will do to clean his habitat is what's called gravel vacuuming. And basically we put a really long tube into the habitat and it's attached to a hose, and it will help us clean the gravel on the bottom. He has gotten used to that. So all of this repeated stationing and exposure to people, these interactive tactile sessions, they all connect back and play a role into having him just be comfortable with the frequency of people interacting with him and his environment around him, because we do have to clean. So he will have to be around when we're cleaning. Training is important because with such an intelligent animal, we want to make sure that we are maintaining a bond of trust. Again, they always have choice and control, so we want to be able to facilitate the choice for them to interact with us, and that's very important when we need them to be able to participate in their own husbandry behaviors. So training our GPO is very fun, very engaging, and also just very important for his welfare here at Mystic Aquarium. Thank you so much for joining us here today and learning about why we train our Giant Pacific Octopus. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell icon to get notifications for our next Why We Train video.